All right, should be back up now. All right, testing, check 1, 2, everything working again? All right, we back. All right, sweet. Sorry about that. My internet just decided to die, and just the old quick reset, and everything seems to be fine. What's up, Zach? Haven't seen you in a while, I don't feel like. Making sure everything's still working. Yeah, my connection seems fine. It's just, you know how the internet goes. Works 9% of the time, 99% of the time, and then just occasionally just dies on you. All right. Well, welcome back to the stream, everybody. Hopefully we'll get everybody who was just in here back in here in just a moment. We'll give them some time to refresh or figure out what's going on. Tanny, if you're out there, hopefully you got my feedback on toning down the reverb and the on vocals quite a bit. But cool, yeah. We got everybody coming back, which is great. All right, everybody good? Everybody here? Sweet. So we got a couple more tracks I want to get to tonight. I will repost the link for the spreadsheet in the chat. That way, if there's any stragglers who are just coming in here and want to share a song, they can toss it in there. Yeah, let's see if we can get Tanny back in here and see if we can have Love try hand at mixing it. All right. Sweet. Well, I think we got 2 more tracks that we have not gotten to yet. One from Love and one from Janef. But I'm assuming most people who are joining us were just with us right before the stream died just a second ago. But if you're not, and you are just joining us for the first time, if you would like to share a track, you can click on the link that is pinned up at the top of the chat, and I will take a listen to it. But let's check out another one of Love's tracks. Pew, pew, pew.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nice. I'm liking the range, Love. I like the diversity of stuff you're working on.
Growing up, I didn't act my age. Never young enough. Always did just what the teachers say. Did all that I could to keep the peace. I tried my best, even if I wasn't happy. Other kids my age, playing toys, playing games. Where did all the time go? So tell me, what do I do now?
Nice. Sounds super clean. Um, she has a really, really nice voice. I don't know how much processing or stuff she did to make her sound like that, but it sounds really natural, and it sounds like she just like nailed the performance on the vocals. Uh, the only feedback I have on the vocals is there's this little part right here.
But I grew up too fast.
I think it's right here, maybe. That little vocal part right there, I feel like could be a bit more present in the mix. It's really kind of like the climax of the song, and so I kind of want to like bring that up a little bit more. Yeah, her voice is really good. One of the things I always tell people is if you start building connections and relationships with different performers and people you bring in to come in your songs, if you meet somebody who's like really good at what they do, like make sure you develop that relationship and keep them around. And she's got a really, really solid voice. But yeah, this little vocal thing right here gets lost a little bit. But other than that, I think the vocals sound pretty amazing. I like all the backup harmonies and things she's doing. Sounds really good. As far as the feedback goes, Tanny, welcome back. I feel like we got a little interrupted with your feedback, but basically the summary was, I don't know when it started chopping out. Tone down the delays, tone down the reverbs on your vocals pretty significantly. Less is more when it comes to your vocal processing, and that'll hopefully get you pretty far. And then add a little bit of compression on your vocals if you haven't already. So as far as critical feedback on this track, I feel like there's a few points where you get some interesting electronic music influence in here that I think is an interesting creative choice, and it sometimes works or it kind of works. I have mixed feelings about it. Two places specifically. One is right here. The sub bass here is going to be, or has these really long extended notes that kind of glide into the next one, which feels very electronic compared to how acoustic everything else is sounding. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. Sometimes you can kind of play with those expectations and like have a little bit of electronic and a little bit of acoustic. But here I'm wondering if you have a sub bass that's a bit more kind of plucky, has a bit more of like a decay to it, it'll sound more like a plucked bass, and it'll fit in a little bit more with the the acoustic sounds, even though it's still electronic music sound. So that's like a creative choice more than it is like feedback. Like, do you want it to contrast a little bit, or do you want it to fit in there a little bit more nicely? And if you want it to fit in more nicely, I would go for more of like a plucked thing as opposed to the long kind of sustained sound you have now. The other place was somewhere over here, I think. You have the long kind of growly kind of thing. Not really growly, but this like just long sustained beefy bassy thing here, which again stands in contrast to how acoustic everything is. Even the horns that come in are also like this very acoustic sound, which again I don't necessarily think that's wrong. It's just an interesting creative choice. Yeah, it's like a really muted respace that's in here. Which I actually don't mind. I actually think that it kind of works here. I'm like, I was more concerned about it for the bass over here than I am with the end, because again, like you're kind of shifting the energy level a little bit. So the muted respace was an interesting creative choice. Probably not one I would have made instinctively, but I think there's interesting play there, and so I'm curious to see where you go with that, whether you keep that in there or changing it. But yeah, that's mainly the feedback I have. I think the drums are a little loud in the mix, but not by much. And this is one of the beautiful things about working with the vocalist who's really good, is that you don't need to do a lot of crazy production work to make the song work. In fact, a lot of times less is more. You know, we talked about this a little earlier with vocal processing on Tanny, but you don't need to do a lot of crazy instrumental stuff to make the song good. Her vocals themselves just stand out, and they work really well. Yeah, if you're working with the bassist, have a bassist just throw down a little bass line on this, and I think that would be like icing on the cake in here. I think it'd go really well. But yeah, super cool track, really really awesome vocals in there, works really well. Tanny, are you asking about just general plugins that I recommend, or to do specific things? I think somebody mentioned Serum. Serum is a great synthesizer. Everybody uses Serum. When it comes down to like vocal processing, because it seems that's kind of what you're doing, right? Because you're taking an instrumental and you're tossing your vocals on it, and then you're kind of processing your vocals. For vocal processing, I mean, having a reverb that you like and can use really well is really important. The Valhalla reverbs are the best reverbs out there, in my opinion. So Valhalla Vintage Verb, Valhalla Shimmer, all of them are great. They're $50 each. Just go, just download, just buy them. Just buy them. They're great. You see, they're perfect. Everything you could ever want in reverb world is in Valhalla, in my opinion. And then other than that, for like compression / EQ stuff, Fab Filter stuff is great. You know, Pro C is their compressor, Fab Filter Pro C. Pro L is their limiter if you want to do some limiting. Pro Q is their EQ. Yeah, those are the Valhalla and Fab Filter are literally all you need. You don't need anything else in life. Those are pretty much the only plugins I use anymore, besides maybe Contact. The Fab Filter stuff's a little bit more pricey, but it's great, and it'll if you want professional sounding vocals and you want like one company that says all you need, Fab Filter stuff's great. Wave stuff is also excellent. The interface on a lot of the first off, there's like a million different Wave plugins, and so you have to kind of know like which ones are the good ones. And then the interfaces on a lot of them are a little dated, in my opinion. But I think the Wave stuff is also really cool. Sweet. So I got Tanny. All right. So this went. We've gotten a couple songs by everybody. I think we got one more Vlad song and one more JNF song that we have not done yet, but we're getting a little bit close to the end, so I might do the same thing I did last week and save those for the start of next week. Just to make my life easy. So I appreciate all you guys coming in here, showing up, hanging out with me, sharing your music is greatly appreciated. If you want to hit the like button or any of that stuff, go for it. On top of that, also a reminder, since we have some more people here now, the sample pack song challenge is due 1 week from today. So if you want to download that, join the Discord, get it in there, get some samples, make some cool stuff with it, send it back to me. And so we will be focusing on the sample pack songs next week. But if you are not doing the sample pack challenge, you don't want to or whatever, you can still send me a track and I'll still listen to it and I'll still give you feedback. So I'm going to hang out for a couple more minutes and see if there is anybody else out there who has not shared a track who is interested in sending me one. But once again, I appreciate all you guys for showing up here. Yeah, all the tracks today were super dope. Like the level of quality and creativity has always been really inspiring. And so it's cool to hear what you guys are doing. And I look forward to continuing to hear what you guys are doing. It's making me also get really motivated to finish more tracks. So this is more about me than it is for you guys. I'm just doing this so I get motivated. What's up, Van? the recap of the entire stream is a lot of people shared a lot of really dope tracks, and it was a great time was had by all, and we learned a lot, and it was very fun. That was kind of the deal. A lot of interesting variety today in styles, which is great. But Van, we are probably going to be calling this stream in just a few moments, unless you or somebody else has a track that they would like to share. But I appreciate you stopping by. And Tanny, definitely send your track to Love. He's got some vocal processing chops, and I think it'll be an interesting learning experience to see what he does to your vocals. John, welcome. You can submit. There is a link that is pinned up at the top of the chat. Click on that link. It'll take you to a spreadsheet, and just toss your link in the spreadsheet, and I will listen to it. All right, we're going to do at least one more from John.
I don't miss, little boy, you on the bench. Like I'm Curry, I'm a switch. People below me, they love talking all that shit. Love is so dangerous. I'm stuck in my abyss. Little boy, you on the bench. Like I'm Curry, I'm a switch. People below me, they love talking all that shit. Love is so dangerous. I'm stuck in my abyss. Upper echelon fucker. Do I really love her? I can't let go. I'ma have to suffer. Pain in my heart, don't know how to recover. And I never put anything above her. Darkness, everywhere I look, everywhere I go. Baby, I wanna know what the fuck is wrong with me. I try so hard to find peace. I try so hard to find peace. I thought we were meant to be. Love always hurts you eventually. It'll fuck you up and make you bleed. Little boy, you on the bench. Like I'm Curry, I'm a switch. People below me, they love talking all that shit. Love is so dangerous. I'm stuck in my abyss. Little boy, you on the bench. Like I'm Curry, I'm a switch. People below me, they love talking all that shit. Love is so dangerous. I'm stuck in my abyss. Nowadays I don't even want love. That shit had me fucked up. Gave her my all, but it's never enough. Now I'm on these drugs, I don't give a fuck. I'm all on my own, sick and tired of these lies. She's the devil in disguise. I don't see the same her when I look in her eyes. Exhausted, nauseous, in pain often.
Nice. That's a sick track. Are you looking for more feedback on the vocals or on the instrumental or both? Because I think they are they're both really good, but they have different bits of feedback, and I'm not sure if this is something you produced or you did the vocals, or maybe you're looking for feedback on both. So let me know. But I'm going to start by talking a little bit about the instrumental. Sounds really solid. Love the sample. The melody is really pretty. It like the vibe of the melody also fits with kind of the vibe of the vocals, which I think is tricky to do sometimes, and I think it works really well. I like the distorted 808s. However, if it were up to me, a hair less distortion on them would totally be fine. And that way you still get like a little bit of the grit of the kind of like distorted 808s, but it's not quite as gritty. To me, the grit was a little bit distracting, and I think it would sound a little smoother if there's a hair less distortion on them. Other than that, I feel like one of the like really subtle things that I think can make a big difference for me when it comes to putting together an instrumental or arrangement, even if this is like a very vocal centric song, is if the beat changes a little bit over time. To me, it sounds like the beat in the first verse and the beat in the second verse are exactly the same. Yeah. So little tiny changes in the beat, I think, could make a big difference. So an easy way to do this would be like switch up the hi-hats a little bit. Like maybe it can be something as small as like giving the hi-hats a little bit extra swing on the second verse. So it's like the same kind of thing, but it feels a little different. Or just switching up the rhythm of hi-hats, putting some extra like fills in there, putting some extra kick drums in there, taking some kick drums out, like little tiny changes in the beat, just so it feels familiar, but it's not 100% exactly the same thing again. That's a nice thing you can do just to kind of like switch it up a little bit. Other than that, I did notice. I tried so hard to find peace. I thought we were meant to be. Love always hurts you eventually. It'll fuck you up and make. I think the parts where you're doing more of like the singing kind of thing could maybe use like a hair bit more reverb, just to kind of like widen it out a little bit, make it a little more atmospheric. And then I think the parts where you're rapping are actually totally fine. That shit had me fucked up. Gave her my all, but it's never enough. Now I'm on these drugs, I don't give a fuck. I'm on my own, sick and tired of these lies. She's a devil in disguise, I don't see the same her. There's like a weird thing that happens right over here. Nowadays I don't even want love. That shit had me fucked up. Gave her my all, but it's never. They're like one of your lines kind of falls into the next one a little bit, and I don't know if that's like a timing on your performance or something, or like right here, right at like 143, 144, the two like vocal lines like kind of weirdly overlap in a way that felt a little strange. It's not a huge deal. It's like pretty subtle and not really bounded a little off to me. But yeah, those are kind of my main piece of feedback here. I think it's a really solid track. I think it all works together really well. I think a little bit more variety in the beat could go a long way. Did I lose connection again? Okay, we're back. Sorry, my computer like flashes lights at me telling that my connection's all messed up, and then it turns out to be fine. Really? Again? All right, hopefully I'm still connected. It's giving me all kinds of weird error messages here. Yeah, I kind of agree with what I was saying a little bit about kind of spreading out some of the extra vocal parts. That could also be pretty helpful. But yeah, cool track. I think the mix sounds pretty solid overall. There's a few vocal parts that sounded a little bit out of place, but not really that much. Sweet. Appreciate you sharing that. Anybody else in chat? Thoughts, questions, comments, feedback, ideas? Awesome. Well, John, I appreciate you sharing that track. I see that you've tossed another one in there. I'm actually probably gonna, this is usually around when I end the stream. So I'll probably am going to have to save that till next time. So I'm gonna leave that link in the spreadsheet. So at the start of stream next Friday, I'll go over that. So if you can make it next Friday, great. If you can't, all the streams get uploaded to the channel and you can watch it whenever you want. But I will get around to that next week. Cool. Well, that is a lot of tracks we went. You want me to do one more from John? I'm a little weirded out by my connection freaking out, but it looks like it's okay now. Justin really wants me to play it. Wait, Justin, does that, did, okay. All right, fine. I'm like so susceptible to peer pressure. So somebody's like, just do one more song. I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll do one more song. All right, but this is the last one for the evening. Once again, you guys are great. Love you guys. But yeah, let's check this out. The connection should be fine now. It stopped giving me warnings, so you can probably change the.
Feel a way that I never did before. Girl, you put me in a trance. Had to tell you that I love you first. I was making plans. Sometimes I don't understand why I don't try with you. I've been getting high with you. Feel a way that I never did before. Girl, you put me in a trance. Had to tell you that I love you first. I was making plans. Sometimes I don't understand why I don't try with you. I've been getting high with you. All of my insecurity, yeah, they control me. I just want her to hold me till the end. I'm so lonely. I don't know what's gotten into you, but lately it feels like you hate me. I wanna run away. Am I blind? Bitch, I do what I want when I want. Don't know what's with all the fuss. You know I don't give a fuck. I'm done with the fake love. She was all I ever wanted. Now I'm on the same drugs. Heart so cold, so alone. I don't know where to go when I'm without you. I start to lose. I'm feeling used, dazed and confused. That I never did before. Girl, you put me in a trance. Had to tell you that I love you first. I was making plans. Sometimes I don't understand why I don't try with you. I've been getting high with you. Feel a way that I never did before. Girl, you put me in a trance. Had to tell you that I love you first. I was making plans. Sometimes I don't understand why I don't try with you. I've been getting high with you. You love telling lies. Oh my God, baby, why? Claiming that you do it for me. You do it for other guys. Suicide for your love. I'ma die, baby. Am I that crazy? I don't know, maybe. All I know is I gotta stay focused. Down bad, I was hopeless, so broken. At my lowest, I was always smoking. Try to numb all of this pain, but it never ends.
Nice. This also sounds really solid. Pretty like minor feedback for this one as well. It's cool to kind of like see the vibe and the relationship between these two tracks. I think the thing that I'm wanting in both of these tracks is a little bit more negative space. So for example, in this track, you're basically singing the entire song. There's like, you start singing here, and then you end here, and then you get negative space, but it's only at the very end. And it'd be interesting if there was, you were like removing things in the middle of the song, like maybe at a section here where it's just the instrumental for a second, or it's like a pitched up version instrumental or something different going on. And so just negative space by like taking things out, which you did a little bit over here, which is kind of nice. You like took out the hi-hats. So like we have hi-hats the entire way through here, and then you get rid of the hi-hats here, and it really changes up the vibe of the whole track. And then they come back in, and it feels even better when they come in. So doing more things like that, but with different sounds beyond just the hi-hats. Take out the kick for a second, and then bring it back in. Take out the guitar for a second, bring it back in. Take out the vocals for a second, and bring it back in. And this can be for, 4 bars, 8 bars, 16 bars, however long. Or it can also be for like a quarter note. This is something that's really useful, is like, as you're about to transition from one second of the song, just delete everything except for like one vocal word. And then that really like puts the emphasis on that one word. So taking things out to make the arrangement flow a little better, I think could be really useful. And this is true for the last song too. Getting rid of little things, deleting things here, and that way you get this kind of expectation of like, okay, we've been hearing the same kind of loop over and over again. You get rid of it, it changes, you know, the vibe of the song, and then you bring it back, and when you bring it back, it's even more impactful and it sounds even cooler. So that's the big thing I want to see in both of your tracks is a little bit more use of negative space. Using silence as part of the song can be really, really powerful. Kind of along the same lines, and also kind of the feedback I gave you in the last track, the beat sounds great. I love the guitar. I love the 808s. Everything is working on the beat, but I want a little bit more variety. I want things to change a little bit more over time. And again, kind of falling back on the negative space thing, you take the guitar part out for a second, and when you bring it in, it's a little different. It's got some different effects on it. It's got some different delays on it. It's reversed, or it's pitched up, or it's pitched down, or it's like it's doing something a little different. And that way it feels like you can recycle ideas throughout the track and make it so that keeps the arrangement moving and keeps it evolving, keeps it growing. So that I think is the biggest piece of feedback. I think the vocal processing overall is pretty solid. Maybe a little bit more compression on it could be good, but I think I don't have a lot of like big complaints about the vocals and the processing on them. I think they sound pretty solid. All right, Justin. All right, I definitely don't have time for a third one right now, but yeah, those are cool tracks. And Johnny, looks like you added or John Boy, you added a third one on there. I will add that to the list for next week because it is time for me to eat food. I am hungry and it's been a long day. But yeah, I feel like at the end of every stream, I need to let you guys know that you guys are awesome and super appreciate you guys being here. If you want to do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe button and all that kind of stuff, go for it. But I will be back on Tuesday for another just kind of hangout and music production stream. And if you can't make it to that, I'll be back here on Friday for the what's it called? Sample pack song challenge feedback stream. It's a lot of words all at once. So yeah, so you guys are great. Have a good weekend. Make some music. Yeah, I'm debating switching up my stream schedule a little bit. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it yet, but I'm open to ideas about doing different lengths of time, different days of the week, different hours of the day. So if you guys have any thoughts on that, you can let me know in the Discord or message me or whatever. We'll see though. Fridays are hard though. Fridays, it's like end of the week, and I'm like, all right, I really enjoy doing the Friday streams, but sometimes I'm like, okay, I need to do some late night streams. That actually be fun. I actually really want to do a modular synthesizer stream, and it's going to be much less of me talking and much more of me like patching things on the modular synthesizer. I might start doing like a modular Mondays thing and see how it goes. But I'm always open to ideas on things I can do to make the channel better, whether it's through the videos or the streaming or whatever. So hit me up if you got ideas for recommendations. The thing if I'm streaming, if I'm doing like a modular stream, I don't want to like talk about it at the same time. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, right now I'm not going to do any Twitch streaming. I've done some Twitch streaming in the past and it was fun. I've thought about trying to do like dual streaming on both, but my computer can barely handle one. So we'll see. But I'm not planning on migrating to Twitch or anything like that. Sweet. All right. You guys have a good weekend. Make some music. Do whatever it is you want to do. Yeah, I could like I used the modular synthesizer for the first pack, not for the second one, but I could make the pack on stream. That would be an idea for like a nice long stream that I could do. It would also get me to commit to making the pack early because I always do it super last minute. All right. I'm ending the stream. You guys are great. See you later.